Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Donovan Sadiq. I'm the recovering Democrat. Welcome to the Donovan Sadiq Show. Hey, what I want to tell you guys is have a very, very safe weekend. Wear your masks and do everything you need to do so that we can get over this pandemic. A lot of stuff's been happening this weekend, or this week. As you know, the first sitting president of the United States actually incited insurrection to overthrow the government, and it looks bad, but it just seems to me that there's always an excuse that when a white supremacist does something, there's always an excuse. Oh, he's too rich to understand what he's doing, or he's just too poor to understand what he's doing, or it's a lesser charge. But if that was any other group of American that would have done that, labeled a terrorist, they're this is that. These people did not get their way in an election, that nobody has proof of any of their allegations, and yet they can storm the nation's capital and basically get away with it with minor infractions and max a year term, or maybe 10 years term. I think Trump signed in a law to where if you attacked or you did something to federal installations, it's like a 10-year term and all this other stuff. But yet this man does these crimes. He tried to overthrow the government, and yet he is still in the White House. It's lunacy. It doesn't make sense. But here we are. But what I really want to talk to you guys about is a young lady that I happen to have been told about. She ran in the Georgia primary for U.S. Senator, and she was in that group that was Warnock and the white lady with the blonde hair that ran such a terrible campaign, and she owns the WNBA, some team in the WNBA, and she's like the richest person in Congress. She was appointed to the Senate, and so nobody really actually voted for her. And then when she got the briefing on how bad the COVID was, she sold all her stock and stuff. It's amazing how these senators and congressmen that are privy to this very secretive information. And by the way, secrets in a democratic society, they don't go together. Privacy, the secrecy stuff that's supposed to be for the people to know what's going on. But she gets briefed on these things, and then miraculously, conveniently, all these stocks get moved that she knew nothing about. I would believe that if other senators and congressmen hadn't done the same thing, that received the same briefing. But do you see them policing themselves? No, they let each other get away with it while we sit here and worry about $600 if we even get it. After 10, 12 months, they expect you to give you $600, and that's supposed to be doing something of our money. Other countries are getting $2,300, 75% of whatever they were making every month until whenever. And of course, they have universal health care to go with it. So, and then we wonder why, this pandemic is affecting the United States more so than any other country in the world. We don't have universal health care. If we had universal health care, people would be conditioned to go to the doctor even if they get a sniffle. Even if they get a sniffle, because it's going to be paid for. But we don't know what we're talking about. But the young lady I'm talking about, her name is Tamara Johnson Shealy. And I am so impressed with this young lady. I want you guys to take a look of the video where she is talking, and this is in the last weeks of the primary, about Mr. Warnock.
All right. Good afternoon. Good Sunday afternoon. 23 days until Election Day, y'all. I'm coming to you live. I want to tell you a story about what just happened. I'm out campaigning, y'all. We'll give this just a minute and see who's going to join me. But I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, candidate for the United States Senate. I don't do lives very often, like, coming to you live, but I want to tell you what just happened. I just ran into a gentleman. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to see who else is going to jump on. Y'all, this is this election season, y'all. People are discouraged. So I'm out campaigning, come across this very nice gentleman, walk up to him, hand him my card. He's 67 years old, and he said, I'm not voting. He's tired of being tired. He's tired of being disappointed by elected officials. He's tired of being lied to. He's tired. I listened to him. We talked. I gave him my number. I let him get it all out. And I made it real clear, sir, I am radically different. Radically different. He's tired of the mistreatment of black people. He's tired of, all that's been the injustices. He's tired. He's 67 years old. He said he wasn't going to vote. And this man probably been voting all his life. I gave him my phone number. He called me back after maybe half an hour after leaving him. And he said, you know what? I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to do it for my granddaughter. I'm going to do it for my, the next generation. I'm going to do it for y'all. And I really want to come to you live. And like I said, I don't do this kind of stuff very often, getting on the live like this. But I'm coming to you live because I really want to share with you why I'm different. I have a bold agenda, a very bold agenda that I'm taking to Washington. I talk very boldly about reparations. I talk very boldly about the repair that needs to happen for Black America. I speak directly to the issues. I don't run around them. I don't sugarcoat them. And I don't try to make anybody feel comfortable. I speak directly to the issues. And right now, if America does not heal what is ailing Black America, this country will never heal. And we're going to continue to be in the state that we're in. And it's not going to get any better because my generation and the younger generations, you see, they're not our ancestors. And they say that with a lot of pride. We are not our ancestors. We're not going to sit back. We're not going to take it. This is a very radical generation, and I'm a part of that generation. So my stance is bold, and I speak very boldly about the repair. David and I host our broadcast every Saturday at 11 a.m. to talk about race, racism, race relations in the state of Georgia particularly, and nationally. These are conversations, these are hard conversations that we have. Nobody wants to speak to them. And there's 21 candidates in this race, y'all, for the United States Senate that I'm in. 21 candidates. And I really appreciate being in this race because I can tell you there's a candidate for everybody. You got Republicans, you got Democrats, Libertarian, Independent, write-in, Green. You got everything you can think of in this race. But let me tell you, the Democrats have picked their favorite. Somebody that they can control, somebody that they can manipulate and maneuver and use us. And I'm gonna talk about Raphael Warnock, and I've been talking about him. So I hope this video gets right back to him, his people, and those of you that are undecided. How dare he stand in that pulpit of Dr. King, stand in the shoes of Dr. King and not have an agenda specifically for Black people, not talk about reparations, not talk about our needs specifically. And he does not. And we cannot go to the polls and vote for anybody that doesn't have an inclusive agenda. And an inclusive agenda includes Black people. It speaks specifically to reparations. It will speak specifically to the needs of the Black community, the redress that needs to happen in the Black community. And I speak very boldly about it. And how dare Raphael Warnock stand in the pulpit of Dr. King and not have a Black agenda? Shame on him. Shame on him. When Dr. King left here, he said it. We were going to Washington to get our check. His work has not been done. It has not been finished. And this generation of us, we're committed to finishing it. So please, when you go to the polls, be mindful that Raphael Warnock does not have a Black agenda, and he does not speak to reparations for Black Americans, for those of us who are descendants of slavery. He does not. So don't get caught up in all the big talk. Don't get caught up in, the vagueness. Don't get caught up in all the ads and the hype. Vote your conscience and vote your interests. And so many people are caught up in it. We want to win. Win what? When Black people and Black America is continuing to lose. What you gonna win? So I'm sorry I had to get on my soapbox, but talking to this man today, 67 years old, who was discouraged was not going to go to the polls, was not going to vote. Older black man who spent all his life fighting, and I could see the tears in his eyes, talking about all he's been through, the Klan and growing up in the South and all he's been through. And this man is discouraged and don't even want to vote. Why? Because ain't nobody talking to him. Ain't nobody, nothing has changed in all his many years. Nothing has changed. So yeah, I'm on my soapbox today. But I don't want y'all to go to the polls. Those of you that understand that until Black America is healed, we cannot heal as a nation. We have to be very intentional. We can no longer, worry about the, all the stuff out here. We got to get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is what's going on in Black America. So I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, your candidate for the United States Senate. And again, early voting starts tomorrow. Be mindful that when you go to the polls, vote your conscience and vote your interests. And don't worry about the media, the hype, and who they say you should vote for, and who they say can win. There's 21 candidates in this race. 21 candidates in this race. The vote is going to be divided. Hell, the vote is already divided. And none of us have gotten out. One person, one Republican, he got out, I heard. But I'm not going no damn where. Matt Lieberman say he ain't going nowhere. Ed ain't going nowhere. None of us are going anywhere. Vote your conscience, vote your interests. May the best woman win. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy. My website is Tamara, Tamara 4FOR, GeorgiaSpelledOut.com. Again, Tamara 4 Georgia spelled, all that spelled out.com. Go to the website, donate, volunteer. We got 23 more days. I'm out here every single day from sun up to sundown. I'm doing everything I can. Got people out here helping me all around the state. We run a very strong grassroots campaign. No, we don't have the media, but we have you, the people. You hear us. You see us. You know what's right. Vote for what's right. And don't vote for the hype. I'm a Democrat, but they ain't right. And all Democrats, all Democrats ain't right and all Republicans ain't wrong. I'm smart enough to listen to both sides of it. So again, tomorrow is election day, is early voting. Be sure to go to the polls, vote your conscience, vote your interests. And let Raphael know we watching, because you stand in that pulpit of Dr. King, and you pimping the pulpit, bruh. You using it for your own personal political gain. Yes, I said it. You're using it for your own personal political gain. You can't serve the world and be in the church. Because you said you're gonna continue to be pastor, senior pastor, and run and be in Congress. I don't know how you're gonna do that. Somebody gonna get the short end of the stick. I hate it to be the souls that you're trying to save for Christ. And then I hate that it could be the state of Georgia. Those of us who need you. So please, y'all, don't get caught up. Don't be bamboozled again. Please don't. Y'all have a good afternoon. I got yard signs to deliver. I love you guys.